There is some funky stuff going on in Chiefs Kingdom, and Justin Reid is at the forefront of it. We're going to talk about what does that all mean? Because it might not be what you think. How do we take everything away from it? That's where we're going today. I'm Ryan Tracy. This is my channel, RGR Football. Welcome. I'm glad that you guys are here. And it's about this concept still. Do you believe in this team in 2022? We've been through a lot of it already, but where does it go from here? That's really the big question. And it's getting more complicated. This is pretty much the peak right now of what's going to happen down the stretch in this season. And it's this week against the Bengals. And there's already been a lot of talk. This guy, number 20, who had kind of a calm day, we're going to talk about that here coming up. He got in this comment war where a lot of people took it one way, and I read it completely differently. I'm going to share with you my concept. We'll play the clip here in a minute. But this was a guy that I think is in a leadership position in this team and is somebody that they can rely on to do what the team needs. And yes, is it a little bit out of control to like not even understand the names of the players you're playing? Yes, that's true. I put this up here just so that he can remember, who the tight end is, to tell you the truth. But it comes down to the fact that I think there's two things at work here. One, Justin Reid was a little bored against the Rams. This was one of the big plays that he had coming up, a nice tackle from the deep, coming up open field, getting it done. But he didn't get a whole lot of action. And that's partially due to the scheme, partially due to the opponent. This week, it's definitely changing. And I think he may have gotten a little bit out of sorts with where he was going, but I also think it's brilliant because of what it does to the Bengals as an opponent. I want you guys to hear it, so let's go to it here.
A big-time tackle, like some of the missed tackles, explosive plays, a lot of it's going to come down to making the play on the ball, and they have 88, Higbee. No, it's not Higbee was with the Rams. What's his name?
Not Higgins.
It is Higgins.
Yeah,
it's Higgins. Higbee and Higgins.
Yeah.
They're going to have him back. He's a very talented receiver, too. More of a finesse type of guy. Not the best blocker. I'm going to lock him down, straight up. So, we're going to have to come out of the game, like I said, play our best game and go out and do it.
So what that does is tell you kind of where he's coming from. And that's fine. When we look at this play that we have been watching, this is the touchdown play that goes hand in hand with it. Again, a play where watch Reid here is just kind of sitting around in the middle, doesn't have a whole lot to do, didn't get a whole lot of action. And I wonder if he got a little bit antsy there, and that's fine. He is right here in the middle. His tight end does not come out. He's stuck here in no man's land, not able to affect the play. Sometimes that can get a little draining. But what it does is by making these comments and getting in this kind of flare up on social media of all things, I think it was aimed to pull the team in one direction, the team being the Bengals, that is. Because I think what the team wants to do really is separate what they're going to do from what the Bengals want to do. The Bengals want to get all their wide receivers involved. They want to make sure that they get the matchups that they want. What Justin Reid has accomplished is he has said, hey, look at me. Look at me, Bengals. I'm going to talk trash. I'm going to forget your player's name. I'm going to take it all out of context. And now what does that do to the Bengals? Mentally, what does that do? Normally, I would tell you, you never want to act immature or anything and give your opponent fodder. That is certainly the way that I feel 99% of the time. But in this particular case, I think there's a little bit more going on here. And it comes down to, by doing this, now the whole team, including Jamarr Chase, who's reacting on social media, and certainly the tight ends involved, the players, they're all starting to react as though, hey, we're going to show you our tight ends can get it done. You're not going to shut anybody down. Because when you see the alignments that Justin Reid is going to be over the tight ends. So if you want to prove them wrong, you want to attack them, attack them. Go run your tight ends. Draw up your plays for the tight ends. I think this is brilliant gamesmanship in that by drawing the attention to himself in Justin Reid, a guy that is likely to be matched up on tight ends most of the day, it allows you to take pressure off the guys that we see here in this clip. I think this makes the subtle, like psych ops kind of thing shift to Justin Reid and away from Trent McDuffie, who I'm featuring here, and away from Jalen Watson and away from Josh Williams. I'm not worried about L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is going to be just fine. But what we see here, and I'm going to put it up top so we can see it all. What we see is that this is Trent McDuffie doing his thing. There's 2 plays here, 2 plays he got PBUs on that I think really what it shows that his ability down here at the bottom of the screen is to stay tight, stay in formation. He gets dipped a little bit, comes back, gets a hand in there, and forces the PBU. That's a great play. On this actual PBU, similar situation. He's manning his zone. He's coming up, trying to make that catch and deny it. Gets it done. Catch doesn't happen. These 2 plays illustrate what he's capable of. But we all know that Jamarr Chase is a step above all of these receivers. T. Higgins is probably a step above all of these receivers that we're seeing on this field right here from this film. So by doing this whole scenario this week, it's taken the group of rookies that have to play cornerback against a trio of receivers in Boyd, Higgins, and Chase that, quite frankly, anyone would rank above them in total capability, right? It takes the emphasis off of them and puts it on the guy who is the veteran of the group, because likely it's going to be possibly Juan Thornhill, but very likely you're going to see a lot of Brian Cook, who you see back here doing his thing. That protects those 3-4 rookies that are going to be playing time. It says, put the attention on me. I'm Justin Reid here. Send your tight ends and your wide receivers at me. I'll take it in the middle of the field where I have more help. Keep the emphasis off of the guys down here that are doing their job and trying to compete as rookies. I think this is brilliant gamesmanship. I don't know if Justin Reid came up with it on his own or if this is something that the staff maybe brought up or something like that. But in the end, this is Justin Reid being the leader that he was brought in to be and trying to distract from what the Chiefs want to protect. Take care of your young rookie corners and safety and keep them out of harm's way as much as you can by distracting the opponent's offense from them by putting the emphasis on you. Now, there's another thing that has to happen here too, and I do find it curious that it's not getting mentioned enough, and that is something we're going to talk about in the game preview, our primer and game plan video that's going to come out on Friday. It is about what they do, and what they can do is run the ball as well, where Justin Reid is going to have to come up and be a focal point in stopping Joe Mixon as well. That takes a little bit, and that can be something that can flare up. They've been good against the run this year. They've been markedly better than the last couple of seasons. But Joe Mixon's had his days as well. I think there was a 6-touchdown performance in this season. So you got to take that with respect too. Reid here, you could see, even though this is a play on McDuffie, you see up here at the top where he can handle tight ends when it runs back around to it. And that's going to be key. This is a simple out pattern, doesn't get much done. Didn't get targeted. Fair enough, not a big deal. But you can also see on this next one that in the end, he can turn and run as well. He's right here in the middle, going to take off with this tight end. And hey, stays in phase, whatever. If he gets that kind of attention, if he gets targeted that way, he has a chance of getting a ball, and he's going to protect everyone else. He's also going to be in position to come down and man that box and really come at Joe Mixon, who I think they're going to try to emphasize early to get off on a run, but we're going to tell you more about that tomorrow. Again, this is, I think, a brilliant idea. We'll see if it actually works. With overall, we don't hear Justin Reid all offseason. All season, he's been pretty quiet in the media. And then he pops off against what is the last really scary opponent that they think might be able to keep up with him, and a team that has had their number for 2 games in a row. I think that's very convenient. I think it's super smart, and I like the way that they're going about it. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is on purpose? Do you think this was just a slip of the tongue? Or do you think that they actually manufactured this in order to have some kind of effect on the way the Bengals prepare and the way they game plan? Leave your comments down below. I'm Ryan Tracy. This is my channel. Me and my crew, thank you for your time. Make sure you like and sub to this channel if you're not already. It's going to be a lot of fun this game. We have our preview tomorrow, as well as Jason Dunn's take on this game and last game as well. Don't miss those. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.